Take off your fucking shoes. You so fucking slow. Like, take off the shoes. You so slow.
See, the camera's still good. All right, we are live. Welcome. Welcome to the podcast. So, today, who do we have?
Naomi and Marie.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Make sure you speak into the mic. So we have.
Try not to fall.
I wonder if any of the cameras caught that. Do you think the cameras caught that?
He fell into the mic.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay,
That's,
all right.
It's a hell of a way to start out your first episode.
Got Naomi Marie in the
And,
building. Back at it. Bada boom, bada bam. Yeah, boy, you looking at your mommy? Okay, Larry, let's go.
So the dramatic start to the first episode. It's your boy X. I'm here, and she just. Oh my goodness.
You ate the couch. Oh my god.
I'm glad all the cameras didn't fall because it took me about 20 minutes to set these things up.
All right, for real.
Jess, you want to be a part of the podcast, boy?
On the couch. Hey, Poppy Chumo, you look so sweet. Yeah.
So, episode 1. Today we have our lovely guest Naomi Marie,
AKA Bay.
AKA Bay,
AKA
a lot of things.
White Feet.
White feet.
Why you make that face?
What face?
You said.
I don't know. You keep saying AKAs like you just got all kind of nicknames.
Yeah. What we doing today? We're
just gonna have a little discussion. You know, it's been quarantine for the past what? Why you keep laughing? We can't even do this. We've been quarantined for the past 3 months. We just
He
moved.
been getting on my nerves, y'all.
We just moved to this new spot, so you know, we trying to get acclimated to it. So it was the little pooch.
Called him a pooch.
Little pooch.
We don't
Yeah.
even call him pooch.
Little pooch, he little. Ain't that right, little pooch?
You let it out.
So what's it been like the past, I guess several months in quarantine for you? What's life been like?
It's been the same to me because I've always been in the house, so it's really nothing new. Like I guess it's just the part that sucked is like actually having to stay in the house. But I don't even go anywhere anyways. I'm always in the house normally, so.
Yeah. You quarantined up, huh?
I mean, but
You've been
besides
quarantined.
that, like, he's
Been practicing social distancing.
He's usually gone at work, but now that he's here with me, I don't know, it's different. He be getting on my nerves sometimes, so I'm just like, But you know what I'm saying? It's been cool having him here. I'm a little ride or die. Give me a little fist
when I
bump.
go into work, she'd be like, "No, don't go. Please stay." And I'd be like, "You just told me I was annoying. Now you want me to stay?"
You was.
You know how that be. So,
and I said what I said.
But yeah, this quarantine has been pretty interesting. For me, it doesn't bother me at all because I'm introverted in a way. I don't like being around a bunch of people.
Me either.
So
I'm not an introvert. I just don't like being around a lot of people. I like to be on like social media. Like I like to be on there talking to people.
I
don't
like to be on
talking to
social
people
media.
in person. I don't really like going out.
Yeah.
Nah, I think I'm getting old. That's what it is.
Everybody getting old. Like, goddamn,
Yeah,
I'm
you
halfway
too.
to 50, and
Yep.
shoot, you crochet, so everybody already
Alright.
think you passed your age. You at
I'm
least
an old soul.
40 years older than what.
All right.
But anyway, welcome to the show, episode 1.
What's the name of the show again?
We don't even have a name yet. When we post it, it's gonna have a name. We gonna figure it out. That's where we at right now. What do you think we should name it?
I don't know, but I thought you told me something last time.
I don't know. I'm indecisive. This is a huge thing, a huge commitment. So I want to make sure when we name this thing, we're gonna name it right. But you guys gonna see the name of it in the title because obviously we gotta post it with some kind of name. But hopefully in the future we can get more guests. Maybe we do, a trio podcast. Me, you, somebody else.
We don't have friends. How are we gonna do that?
We do have friends. Don't tell
don't
the
have
people
friends.
we don't have friends. We do. So yeah, if you're interested in our content, which you should be because it's great.
First of all, this is mainly his channel, but I will be in a good chunk of that. Good chunk of the episodes. I told him I wanted this to be more of his thing since I already have my own thing going. And I told him, I was like, if you want me to be in your podcast, I don't mind being in your podcast. But I don't want it to be an our thing because I want it to be a his thing.
Basically, she ain't trying to shout a nigga out. She like, I'm just out here, no, I'm kidding. But in all,
I was gonna share the video anyway.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You better.
But in all seriousness, I've always wanted to do a podcast because I feel that the conversations that I tend to have with people tend to be pretty good. I think people can learn something from the conversations that I have with people, whether it be, conversations with me or you, or conversations with anyone else. So, and we tend to have lighthearted conversations. I don't think this should be a serious podcast because it really shouldn't be.
No, but I do think that we should, like, when we do videos together, like, talk about a lot of stuff that, like, other people could relate to.
I mean, yeah, I think
life, relationships.
But generally speaking, we relatable. You know what I mean? Like we be, relatable. Like people be like, I feel you a lot. We be talking, they be like, I feel you.
I mean, like, they probably don't say it like that, but
yeah. So, episode 1, a lot has happened since our last show, which has never happened. So a lot has just happened in life, if that makes sense. That was kind of deep. I was trying to see if you caught on. No. But anyway, we got the whole protesting thing going on, still dying down a little bit, but not really. We got the whole COVID thing ramping back up. We out here in Texas. It's getting crazy again. I don't know what the heck's going on. I just hope all my people safe. But besides all that, let's talk a little bit about you. Let's get to know Naomi Marie a bit more, because I think even her fans that come to my channel to watch this will be interested to know what is she like behind the scenes.
I'm shy.
She's not.
That's because you know me and you live with me. So
I'm going to ask you some questions that I already know the answer to, because this is a podcast and that's kind of what
they got to know, even though you know it.
They got to. I mean, yeah, we got to tell them. It's what we do. So
don't ask me nothing deep.
Everything that was deep just kind of left my brain just when you said that. That's how connected we are. But so your YouTube channel, you're at 40,000 subscribers.
Not yet. I'm 100 away.
Well, by the time I post this video, you're gonna be at 40,000. Okay. So we're just gonna say that.
Okay.
What's it been like owning your own brand, being a black young lady that has her own stuff going? Just tell me about that.
Stressful. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, it has its ups and downs. Some days, like, I love what I do, and some days I'm just like, oh my God, like. But I think every business owner or like brand person feels the same way. It's just like what you deal with on a daily basis, and oh yeah, that's how mommy feel.
This little dog over. Come on, man.
That's how mommy
trying to
feel.
podcast, man. It's episode 1.
That's how mommy feel, Jazz.
Look at him.
You know how I feel.
Yes, but so what would you say would be the most difficult thing about being a small business owner?
I think the most difficult thing about being a small business owner is marketing and branding yourself, because believe it or not, like, there's a lot of people who crochet and do the same thing that I do, but the way that I brand myself and the way that I market myself sets me apart from them. That's how I'm able to get clientele. And like, I noticed that a lot of people have really good designs and really nice skills with their work, but they aren't able to like get clientele because of their marketing.
Right. And
I think marketing comes within time. Some people are good at it and some people aren't. That's just what it is. But there are ways, to improve your marketing skills. There's plenty of resources out there, but a lot of them, you got to pay money.
Yeah.
But the way that I did it, I didn't really have to pay money. It's just based off of like my following that I've always had. So. Cause
you be showing them things on Instagram.
Nice, we thought.
I'd be like, at first, man, it was tough. It was tough because like
Oh
you
yeah, well,
know,
how did you feel about that in the beginning when we first started dating? Like with me posting my crochet stuff, because most of y'all know, like when I started dating him, that's when I started really like putting out stuff. So, what was your thoughts, or what were you feeling?
my thoughts were, I mean, you were doing it before we met, so it's not like something I could just be like, hey, you don't need to be doing that stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And the fact of the matter is, that was your thing, that was your hustle, that's how you made money, that was your creative outlet. So I respected it in that manner. So when it came down to, when we started dating, of course it was tough because you got, other dudes looking at your girl, but at the same time, it's like, you with me for a reason. So I'm not the type of guy that's insecure like at all. Just because, I've been through things in my life and I understand my worth along with, your worth as well. So I feel like if we not connecting on that same level, then, there's no point. But, if we are connecting, which we have been, then I should have nothing to worry about. So, and
So with like, so when I first met you, my Twitter was the only thing that I had like the big following on, but then like it eventually went to Instagram and like YouTube. So like, what's your thought process on that now? Like, how does that make you feel, knowing that it's like kind of like more eyes on me, I guess, because most of my followings are guys more than likely because of what I post. But
I mean, it doesn't bother me because, I feel that the more following you, the better. The more money you'll be able to bring in, the more you'll be able to do for yourself, do for us. So, I'm the type of person where I think that everybody should find their own hustle. Everybody should find, what makes them happy. And if it can bring you money, then great, because, that's kind of the end goal. We want to have money so that we can do what we want to do and, build relationships, experience things that we probably would have never been able to had we not, received money. So that's my whole thing. I think that um, unless you know, unless you're out there disrespecting yourself, then I have no issue. And to me, disrespecting yourself is like, being out there blatantly naked, basically, you know what that is. Like,
OnlyFans.
I mean, I'm not even trying to call people out for OnlyFans, but at the same time, you know what you're doing. So
Like
like
content that like sex workers would put out.
content that basically all you're selling is yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not selling any kind of product. Like it's one thing to model a product and it it'd be a bit revealing by the nature of the product,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're selling your boobs, like literally like if you want to come look at them, I'm $10 a month. To me that's a bit different because people who tend to do stuff like that don't really have influence.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy because a lot of these Instagram models, they have thousands and thousands of fans, but they really don't have influence because the people who follow them are just pretty much thirsty men that they just want to see your body. Like if you post something on your Instagram and say, hey, this is this new top I made, you guys like it or whatever, you get good feedback and people are like willing to pay for it right then and there, and they're like, hey, I want to buy it, I want to buy this now. But from my experience and from what I've seen, people who don't really have influence.
I just think about what you feel.
Oh my goodness. But people who who don't really have much to offer other than their body
Mm-hmm.
tend to not really have influence. And
That's why I like to refer myself as like a content creator, not necessarily like an influencer.
yeah,
To each his own.
yeah, because at the end of the day, the
That's what
goal
I
is
do.
the goal is to build relationships with companies and have a big enough influence so that both parties can make money.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter how many followers you have if you can't influence them to tap on a link or purchase an item or subscribe to something, then it's all for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
especially in business.
I agree.
So 40,000 subscribers, what has been the biggest challenge with growing your YouTube channel?
The biggest challenge I think would be when I originally started my YouTube channel. It was never to like, never to put strictly crochet stuff. Like,
Right.
sounds so weird saying that because that's what I normally do. But when I originally did my YouTube channel, it was because I wanted people to be able to get to know me and like grow a fan base of people who like genuinely watching me for like whatever I post, like whether it's a video with you or like jazz or like whatever the case may be. But I ended up gaining the following from, you know, crochet, which is not bad, but I think the hardest thing for me now is because I'm starting to want to branch back into what I was doing and not strictly focus on crochet so much, because I feel like it's slowly draining me to where I don't even enjoy it. So I think if I keep like going at the rate that I'm going with crochet and whatnot, I feel like it's gonna put me to the point where I'm not gonna want to post a tutorial at all. So that's why I'm like, you know, I'm like, let me slow down, let me reevaluate what I want to really do,
Right.
and start implementing what I want to put on my channel. So if I want to wake up one day and do it, get ready with me, I can do that. Or if I want to wake up one day, you know, or like film a prank video or like whatever the case may be, like I'm not restricted, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just, and it's kind of annoying sometimes where some people, I don't want to say the word harass, but like that's what it kind of be feeling like sometimes, like pressuring me for like tutorials and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love doing tutorials and stuff like that, but you know, I have to make time for me to do what I want to do.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like, you know, I get paid through YouTube. Like, nobody's paying me personally to give out free game on what I do. So I think people just have to be mindful of that. It's very annoying. Like, you know, I want to make stuff for myself and I don't even have time to do that. Or you just have people always, hey, pattern, hey, tutorial, hey, pattern. Are you going to do a video? Like, I can't even post anything nowadays without, like, people just, like, down my neck about it.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I feel like it's a blessing and a curse to be in a position you're in, because it's one of those things where you always wanted to have a somewhat large following and it's continuing to grow. At the same time, it comes with, you know, the cons, which are, you know, people constantly, you know, kind of at you for wanting new things and you having to deliver on top of delivering on everything that you've been having to deliver on from the beginning. So, you know, I think that it all comes with, you know, not trying to burn yourself out, because, you know, the people who follow you, they love you because, you know, you inspire them, and, you know, hell, you inspire me. So, you know, you can't really blame them for, you know, how eager they can be to, you know, message you and ask for help and stuff like that. And I don't think you do. Like, you really, it makes your day when people say certain things, especially. But, you know, anything, like once you turn a hobby into a job, you know, it
kind of like sucks the fun out of it.
Like, yeah. It's just like, you know, for me, when I ran college track, you know, it was all fun in high school. Then once you go to college, it becomes business. And, you know, when you lose that aspect of, hey, I want to do it for myself and for fun, you know, now you're saying, hey, I need to do this so that I can have my school paid for.
Because that's the thing, like when I originally started crocheting, it was mainly just to make myself stuff. But then obviously, you know, we realized that I could make money. So then I started doing that as well. But I don't know. I just feel like it's starting to get to a point where like it's slowly draining me to the point where I don't even enjoy it. Like back then I could sit for hours and work on a piece, you know, and be excited to see the finished product. But like now it's like I'll work on a piece for 30 minutes and then like I stop.
Yeah. So, in your ideal scenario for what you're doing with crochet and with YouTube, like where do you want to go with it? Like where do you see yourself, you know, in 3 years if you had your way?
I don't know, honestly, cuz like I want to still continue to grow my brand and I want to branch out and do other things. But like I don't know, I also want to pursue YouTube with more of like my personal life. Like, so people can actually get to know me aside from just knowing that I'm the girl that crochets, you know? Yeah. Because I get that a lot, believe it or not. Like, sometimes when I go places, like when I went to, I think I went to Sam Houston's Spring Fling last year or the year before. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, you're the girl off Twitter who crochets. Like, I don't know. I just want people to actually, like, know me on a personal level because I'm really friendly. I talk to everybody and respond to, like, almost everybody's message if you ever message me. Right. So.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things as well. You know, you started doing a crochet thing and it immediately kind of just popped. You know, everybody was, because it's a niche thing. There aren't too many people that, you know, crochet. So when they find a good crochet tutorial, they're like, oh, okay, let me check this out. And then
Mm-hmm.
once they see that this person is consistent and they post, really good content, it's, it's kind of a trap because,
Like, if I look back, like a long time ago, before I even started crocheting, like I don't think I even told you that, but when I first started, when I moved back stateside and I started my junior year, I always wanted to be in front of a camera.
mm-hmm.
And, like, always wanted to do YouTube. Never did it though because of my dad. But I think when I finally got the opportunity to do it, I'm just like, wow. Like, I low key feel like I'm living my dream out,
Right.
which was kind of crazy to me because I never would have thought that I would have started YouTube like at all.
Right.
But I don't know. Just looking back and looking forward now, it's just like I would have never thought that I would have been in this situation. Like, I never even thought I would get past like 10,000 subscribers. Like,
Yeah.
10,000 was just where I drew the line. I was like, okay, I feel like that's a doable number. But then, like, everything started going up literally during quarantine.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's very interesting because, I've been along for the ride from the beginning until
Literally
now.
the beginning.
And, I told you that, it would happen. Your channel will start to grow and you'll start to, see some benefits. And, it's happened. So, like,
Actually, it was when we first started dating. He was the one who was like, you need to start a YouTube channel. And da-da-da-da-da. So my very first video was doing a headband.
Yeah.
And I remember
They got like
uploading
2,000
it.
views.
It
And like,
blew up quick.
in
Like
a week or
everything
something.
from like that moment blew up quick.
Yeah.
And then like he's been the main person who's been pushing me though through like everything. Yeah. He was the one who told me I need to start selling my stuff, so I started selling my stuff. Then he told me I should do a YouTube channel, so I started doing a YouTube channel.
Well, we are, knees deep into the podcast. I think it's time now for a quick water break. Thank you guys so much for joining the show. It's been a great conversation
Very
with
eventful.
you, with you, Naomi. So, Naomi Marie, the beautiful. But anyway, we'll be back. We'll do a jump cut. We'll get some water. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. Thanks for joining us.
Peace.
All right, now we are back to the show. We got some dry Canada ginger ale, and you got some water. You got that no flavor water.
You need to be drinking water. Don't worry about me.
Probably do. I've been drinking that Topo Chico a lot.
He acts like it's so good.
It is.
No.
It is. If you haven't tried Topo, let me stop. They ain't sponsoring nothing. I ain't giving them no shout out. But if you want to sponsor, I know we ain't got nobody watching this just yet, but your boy, I drink a lot of it. Sponsor Naomi Marie too, because I'm gonna be drinking all of it if y'all send it. But yes, so we talked a little bit about your YouTube channel, how you grew, your fan base, things of that nature. As far as, your life is concerned, like what do you think is the overall goal for, not just your business, but what will make you most happy, like in general, and how do you think you can get to that point? I know you said not to get deep, but you know how we do things.
Deep. Rephrase that question.
Okay.
I
Let's
bet you
rephrase it a little bit.
forgot the question.
I don't even remember what I asked now. Man, this podcast is trash. Take another sip.
Oh, you're saying something about like my life, like my end goal with my life or something.
Yeah. So basically, where do you see yourself? Like, if everything aligned, and you did what you had to do from now until, let's say, you were 35 years old, and now you achieved all your goals that you set out at this point, like what does life look like for you at that point?
Pretty chill.
Same?
Not
Because I know you be wanting stuff.
Not the same, but I'm saying like if I achieved all of my goals that I had set out now, which I ain't finna tell y'all gonna have to wait and see. But if I did, like, I would be in a way better position than I am now. I think by that point, though, if I had achieved all my goals, my main goals would just be my family.
Right. That's what I tell people all the time. Back in the day, I used to look at money as I just want money so that I can be rich and kind of buy what I want. But the way I am, and I think you are too, is you're not very materialistic. Besides when it comes to engagement rings and when it comes to, a car, like she
Not
wants
really. I just
kind
want
of,
something that's nice and reliable.
yeah, but at the same time, brand new.
That's
You ain't
just
seen
how
on
my
that
dad
used,
raised me, though. That's all I ever known was just new cars.
and engagement rings. But I'm the type of person too. I think that you should kind of go all out on engagement rings in a way. So that really ain't bother me. But growing up, I realized that me as a person, I really don't need a lot to be happy. And for the most part, everything that I have now is good enough, or at least, I feel that I am happy. The idea of happiness, right? Like, this is getting kind of in the weeds, but people go through phases in their day when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're angry, or in their week. They may be happy, sad, angry, whatever the case may be, but you're never really one emotion for a long period of time. And the reason why I bring that up is people tend to think that once you achieve long-term goals, you'll be happy. And the fact of the matter is, you're going to be the exact same most likely. And just hope that the people that you are surrounded with today still kind of act the same when you achieve your goals, because a lot of people
That ain't
tend to
been
be,
happening for me.
well, a lot of people, get jealous, or a lot of people think that, the mentality that people tend to have is, hey, if I know Naomi Marie before she blew up, if she blew up, she got lucky. Like, that's how most people feel. Like, oh, there's no way she worked hard because I know her.
I know her personally. We went to school together.
So she had to have gotten lucky because I know her, and I don't think she worked that hard. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is, most people who don't know you are the people who support you the most, which is crazy. And the people who know you
don't even barely support you. Like, where's the logic?
Yeah.
It don't make sense.
You got people trying to give you, everything. Like, people trying to send you.
And the thing about it is, with people that know me or like were even like considered a friend per se, like those would be the people that you expect. Like in my beginning stages of when I started YouTube, I shouldn't have to ask, hey, can you like my video? Or like, hey, can you comment on my video? That should just be a given. Like, that's something that I would do for my friend. Yeah. But it's crazy. Like you said, like people who don't even know me support me more than people who do know me. And the people who do know me, when I do blow up, or like, I blew up a little bit since high school, then they come around like they've always been there, when that wasn't the case. Yeah. I think that's why it's so difficult for me to like maintain friendships, or like even just keep somebody around. Yeah.
It's weird because people have, by nature, I think a lot of people are competitive. And the fact that, I know you, and the fact that people have known you before you've gotten, to this point, it brings them back to reality that, hey, I haven't done shit with my life yet. And this girl out here, she got 40,000, and she getting orders and this and that.
And the thing is, like, for me, 40K is a lot for me, but like looking at other YouTubers, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But 40,000 subscribers to like somebody who knows me, they're probably like, damn, like, she actually been working. Because a lot of people will literally start a YouTube channel because they think it's so easy. Mm-hmm. They think it's so easy to gain. They think it's so easy to get the views. Yeah. Like most people realistically only last a week week or two on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is a grind, and it's not as easy.
It's hard. It's
real hard, because you see me, I stopped like many times.
And that's the thing, they make it like that so everybody don't stick to it.
It's a sacrifice that you have to make. Mm-hmm. And if you have the time to do it, great. But even still, like, you posted a video today and they got demonetized.
What is he doing? Because I'm finna smack him.
Jess.
Jess, stop. What is he doing? I don't know. It's like he's eating the carpet or something. Oh, he was going ham. But the reality of it is, like, for example, I have this one girl. She was subscribed to me way before I even hit 1,000 subscribers. Like, you know, and she's been there the whole time. She always commented on my videos and all that stuff. And like, I always, I ended up following. Damn, my voice getting squeaky.
You about to cry.
I ended up following her back and subscribing to her channel back. And like, anytime she posts, like, I'll support her. You know, even though she's a smaller YouTuber, just because she supported me so much. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just like the little things.
Yep. Because the thing is, when you don't know somebody, and this is like generally speaking, when you don't know somebody, then there's no need to be competitive towards them because you've never been in their presence in real life. You don't know how they are personally. So, you know.
Well, I feel like there's no need to be competitive at all with anything because who's to say we all can't win? We all can't be at the top together. Like, a lot of other crocheters, like, they see everything as competition. Like, why can't we collaborate, you know, or work together, you know, and just, like, elevate higher? But everything is always seen as a competition, like, for whatever reason. I just never understood that.
And, you know, that's the fact of the matter. Like, you know, me and you, we see life on that level where, you know, everybody, you know, just because you're great doesn't mean that this other person can't be great as well.
Right.
But, you know, people think that, you know, if you hogging all the greatness over there, then it ain't going to be enough for me.
Right. But you know how many people it is in this world?
I mean, yeah.
Like, you know how many millionaires, billionaires?
Yeah.
Like, I think everything is just opportunity and people who are, like, willing to take the risk. Like, anybody can be great, but everybody don't put in the work to be great. That's just their harsh reality.
So you trying to spit gems.
Oh, I'm spitting gems.
All right.
It's true, though.
Make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast.
But it's true. Like, you know, most people want the easy way out for things. Like, for example, with my crochet stuff, like, I give pointers here and there about a lot of things, but, like, I don't understand why sometimes, like, people don't feel like they can do the research on their own with certain stuff. You know? Like, I can give you as much as gems as I want all day, but, like, you're not going to truly value the information that you get until you actually do your own research. Yep.
But that's life. You know, people in general don't want to do anything. Like, people want everything to be just, you know, spoon-fed to them. And, you know, this is why I always push you. I push myself to just go for it, because there's no point in trying to get things perfect before you start something, because you will just be waiting and waiting and waiting.
And I also feel like life's too short. Like,
yeah, I'm already 25. Like, and we just now starting the podcast. Like, damn. Like, shit. Like, 5 more years, and it's like, if this ain't took off, then it's a wrap. Because I'm 30. And, you know, but, you know, in all seriousness, you know, you really should just go for it. Like, there's no point in waiting, because if you wait for what you believe is the perfect moment, then you just missed out on all that time beforehand that you could have been growing. You know?
For example, what I'm working on now, I kept putting it off for months. I literally was talking about it last year, and I hadn't made no progression to do what I wanted to do. But now I'm starting to do it. But, like, before, it's just, like, almost a whole year passed me by, and I didn't do anything that I said I wanted to do.
Yep.
So
and these years, they be rolling.
They be going.
They be
Especially
going
now, they be going.
Yep.
Jazz, you just licking away. You just a licking little dog.
What he licking, I don't know. But, you know, he's enjoying episode 1, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, he having fun.
But, so, you know, kind of to get more into that topic, because I think it's an interesting one. How do you deal with hate and haters? What is your, and I already know how you deal, but let the people know, because, you know, you need a.
How I deal with hate and haters, block. I mean, before I met Xavier, I would always respond to everybody's comments. Like, every little thing somebody had to say. If somebody say they didn't like how my baby hair was laid, I had something to say. But I think, you know, everything took time for me. I'm getting better with it still. I used to argue back. I don't argue no more, really. I just block people, or, like, I rant to him about it.
Yeah. Interesting.
How do you think I deal with it?
You've gotten a lot better, I'll be honest.
He used to get mad.
Yeah, because the thing is this. most people who are, trolls on the internet, they just want a response. And the fact that you give them a response is the reason that, you know, you just can't give into it because you lose every time. And I remember, and you guys may remember this, when the coronavirus thing was first taken off, Nay, she actually posted a picture on Instagram of a mask, like a crochet mask. And she said something to the extent of, can we make these crochet masks a thing? And, interesting enough, she didn't mention the coronavirus or anything at all in the, in the title or in the tweet. But the tweet took off. She got like 50,000 retweets or whatever the heck it was. It took off. And people were literally like calling you stupid and calling you this and that, talking about, Miss Rona gonna walk right through the,
And that's the crazy thing. Like, I never not once said, hey, this is going to stop you from getting coronavirus. Because quite frankly, nothing can stop you from getting it, But there are preventative measures.
Exactly.
And then it got to a point where they were literally like, it doesn't matter. Just put something on your face.
Exactly. And that's my whole point. This is my whole point. Eventually, we got to the point where, the government was saying, we don't care if it's one of those masks that, that really do something, or if it's just, basically a shirt across your face. You just need to have your face covered. And when they came out with that, everybody was like, oh shit, I guess, it's not a bad idea. Let's do the crochet mask. And then everybody started asking for these crochet masks, and it started going viral again. But
I'm not saying either that I invented crochet masks, because I didn't. I just saw it and I was like, ooh, I want to recreate.
But you were
this.
the first one that
I am like the one who made it like pop out,
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, like, I kid you not, after I had went viral for literally, like, I seen in the groups, everybody was like flooding the screenshot with my viral picture, and then like everybody started getting orders for them.
Yeah. But my whole point is this: people who are creative and people who are their own person tend to always, be the first ones to take the hit. And in that case, you took the hit because you were the first one to really put it out there for the world. And you didn't get to see all the benefits in the roses because you were early. And just think about all the greats. Like, it could be freaking, I think Tyler Creator is great just because he is truly creative. He's original. There's no one truly like him. And there are many people that are that way. There's Will Smith. There's even Michael Jackson. Like, there's so many people that, kind of wrote their own story and did it in an original way. And in the beginning, people didn't rock with it. Like, people weren't really, messing with it. But after a while, people started to see, hey, why are we knocking this person? Like, they're doing something that's truly interesting and creative and great. I should be a fan. And that's what happens.
Like, with hate and stuff like that, like, I literally have to just tell myself, look at what you're doing and look at what they're doing. They're behind a screen looking for the next viral tweet that they're not getting paid for.
Yep.
Like, that's just it's just what it is. But I do say, like, during that time where the corona was happening and my mask went viral, like, sometimes, like, certain stuff that I post, it doesn't always, get good back feed or whatever.
Feedback.
Back feedback. Sometimes, like, stuff like that makes me not want to do it anymore. But then, like, I always just tell myself, girl, look at what you're doing and look at what they're doing.
It's not even that. It's just
no, that's literally what I have to tell myself, because it's like these people sit behind a screen all day trolling.
Yeah.
Looking for the next viral tweet.
Yeah, that's true. And, you got to understand this too. People are on your page. Like, I don't even know who the hell you are.
But
you know who I am. So, let that sink in. I don't even know you. I don't know where you're from. I don't even know what you look like, really. Cause
you worried about why you worried about what I'm doing.
Right, cause you got somebody else's picture in your avatar anyway, and you talking mess. You trying to go viral, but that's the world we live in. We live in a cancel culture society.
I mean, I feel like if people don't take anything serious anymore,
I feel like people,
everything's a joke.
I feel like people sometimes take things way too serious and take things out of context just because they can. And the thing is, it destroys a lot of people. Like, people don't understand that, just because people have followings doesn't mean that they don't have feelings and they're not
right.
human.
Like we're not human.
Yeah, just because you have 100,000, a million, 10 million subscribers doesn't mean that words don't affect you. It doesn't mean that you know general human things don't affect you.
I feel like that's also like the thing on YouTube. Like people post a lot of hurtful comments and don't realize like, I'm a human. I have feelings before being a content creator. Like people just type things and don't even think that you'll respond.
Yep.
So
it's just, people are entitled. People, they watch YouTube for free and they complain about every single little thing. And I'm fine with people having, criticism as in feedback, saying, hey, I think that, maybe you should move your ring light up a little bit. That way we can see your face a little, something constructive. Right.
Not just, this is unclear.
Right.
Nobody knows what you're saying. I can't hear you. Like,
yeah. And people honestly think that that's constructive. But you got to think about it like this too. Those are the same people that can't pass a class. You know what I mean? Like, there are some great teachers out there, and there are still students that can't pass classes. Let's say they don't have a learning disability, because most people, typically don't have learning disabilities, and a lot of people still fail classes, and it's not because of the teacher. But people will blame it on the teacher because it's easy to blame the teacher. Mm-hmm. It's easy to blame the situation. Most people aren't going to point the finger at themselves and say, hey, I need I'm stupid, or I can't figure it out.
Or low-key, another pet peeve of mine is like old videos from like over a year ago. And I'm more than sure like when people come to a video, they read the comments. Because that's what I do. I go read the comments. You see people are saying the same thing, so you think that you commenting the same thing that they said is going to change the fact. Like, it's an old video. Yeah. I'm not going to delete it and repost it. I'll make a new one, an up-to-date one, but I'm not going to delete a whole video from a year ago.
Exactly. And that's that whole thing I'm talking about. Like,
or like, wait.
You started with the phone.
Right.
Now we ain't going to tell you what she got because she don't like, people.
I don't like people knowing what I got. But... Or like, what's it called? Dang, you made me lose my train of thought. Oh, or like on YouTube, I don't know, this is another pet peeve of mine. When I watch tutorials, or if I ever watch a tutorial, I pause the video, while I'm working on it. But most people, that don't cross their mind to pause the video. Their first of all, what people need to understand, a tutorial is a chopped up video to make shorter.
Yep.
People think that like as I'm working on it, they should be working on it too. Mm-hmm. My first things first with me, before I watch any tutorial, I watch the whole thing through.
Yeah, because you don't
know what you're gonna get.
You may waste your time because you may get to a part where you like, I'm not advanced enough to do this.
Or yeah.
Or you
but
may.
The thing is, like, you watch the video all the way through, then jot down notes if you need to, and then go back, pause the video as needed. Yep. If you need to pause the video and work on a part, do that.
But you understand too, most people.
There's also a fast forward and rewind and slow down button. They didn't know that.
But you gotta understand too that your audience may be older than the average audience. So like, some of these old folks, they don't know that, hey, there's an option to slow this down, like to do 0.5 speed.
But
or
if you can't even do that, just pause the video.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, I know they be, it'd be some comments that just be stupid. Like you can't be this stupid. Like, I don't know. I lost faith in a lot of things, but some people just are stupid. Like, and I think it's laziness. I don't really think that it's stupidity, to be honest, because most people generally aren't. Let me not say that, because I don't know. People are stupid, but for the most part, most people aren't stupid. Mm-hmm. And I think that, we may confuse stupidity with laziness, because some people, instead of slowing the video down, they'd rather complain and say, hey, this is too fast, because they're too lazy to slow it down.
But my thing is also, if you do have an issue, say for instance you have an issue at 8:23, mm-hmm. The stamp, put that in the description box, because then from there I'm able to actually help you. I can't help you if you say these are unclear. What part is unclear? Where do you need help at?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess most people think that I'm just not going to respond when I low-key respond to almost all of my comments.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's just like if you need help, put it in the comment, put the timestamp so I know what you're referencing. If you're just saying this is unclear or I don't know what you're doing, like I can't help you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that, like I said, people are just, they're spoiled because the internet has allowed them to be spoiled. Back in the day, when we were kids and the internet was really slow and everybody had to use, we were on DSL, and if somebody called your house and you got kicked off the internet, like then it was a lot harder to find information because one, it wasn't, just readily available like how it is now. And two, we had to use a lot of other means to get that information, like books and, newspapers and crap like that, even though I wouldn't read nothing back then. But, the fact of the matter is the internet has allowed people to become lazy. And, we just got to keep calling people out for it because, if you can't do something as simple as slowing a video or pausing it, then, shame on you. Shame.
And I be feeling like people be bashing me so much. I'm like, you don't even pay me. Like, I don't get paid enough to do this. Like, for these comments and, like, what they be saying, I'm like.
But my thing is
like, this is a free video. You're not paying me for it. Like, how are you going to tell me how to do my video? Yes, you can give me, like, pointers. Hey, maybe try doing this next time. Or like somebody suggested putting timestamps for like important events. Cool, I can do that.
Yeah.
But like little stuff, far as like my actual design, like sis, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. It's crazy, It's a double-edged sword. The more people that follow you, the more you have to deal with it. But, at the same time, people don't understand that just because you post a video and it gets, let's say it gets 500,000 views, that don't mean you made a lot of money off of it. Because a lot of the stuff that you post gets demonetized, like
automatically. And like I don't even think they'd be looking to see, like, it's a tutorial. I'm not showing nothing, I promise.
Like literally every third video third video she posts gets demonetized. So it's like,
and I leave it up so y'all can see it.
Yeah. And then her last live stream got completely removed from YouTube for no reason.
Literally.
For no reason.
Make it make sense, YouTube. I want all the smoke.
So it's almost one of those things where if you're an aspiring YouTuber and you want to get into it, not just because of the passion, but because you want to make a career out of it.
I wouldn't even say that. Don't even, if you want to do YouTube for money, don't do it.
That's what I'm saying. I was getting to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, if you're looking at YouTube because of the financial kind of compensation you could get, then you need to kind of.
Until you like really up there.
But I'm just saying, like, it's not what you think it is.
It's not.
Like, cause YouTube has the power to basically say, hey, you're not gonna put ads on your videos.
We're not gonna push this video.
We're not gonna push it. So with all that being said, you accept that as when you become a YouTuber, but you have to be a business person if you really want to make money, because you can't rely on Google AdSense, because YouTube has too much power to just say, hey, in your thumbnail you're wearing a bra, so you should not, or you're wearing a bikini. We're gonna
give you half of what you should get,
and we're not gonna push this video to anyone under the age of 18, even though you could go to the pool and see people in bikinis, or you could go to the beach and see everyone in bikinis, But, it is what it is. And people always say, how come you don't model your stuff in your videos? There you go.
Bingo.
You spend 6 hours to make a video, and, you at least want to make some money off of it.
Right. Give or take, it's a free video.
Yep. But most of y'all just be wanting to see some titties and some booty. That's all y'all.
That's all y'all be wanting to see. But you ain't gonna see mine.
It would really be nice if you could model it, like, even though you got it modeled in the thumbnail.
In the thumbnail, that's all y'all need to see is the thumbnail.
But you want her to put it on and spin around and bend over.
Somebody actually asked me to model my stuff for them.
To model their stuff?
My stuff.
What do you mean?
On Skype. Somebody said, hey, can you model this on Skype? What the heck? What the heck? What did I look like?
People are weird. That's why, like, you know, I don't know, man. Women, y'all got to deal with a whole nother element of weirdos.
Yeah.
I'm glad, you know.
The weirdos come from y'all gender, men.
I agree. I think that there are definitely more male weirdos than female. Some of you dudes, man, y'all just
going outside.
It's bad. It's bad. But I ain't trying to get on nobody case like that. But you know who you are if you being a creep. Just don't be a creep. Come on now. It's 2020. We know this is the worst year ever, but you know, don't make somebody else's year worse.
Right.
You know, by being a weirdo. But so we talked a lot about your YouTube. We talked a lot about kind of just the foundation that you've kind of laid and where you're kind of headed, where your mind is now in this quarantine. You're actually going back to school. You have 2 years left, major, college. What do you actually feel about going back to school? How do you feel about college?
I feel like college isn't necessarily something that you need to pursue your goals because I did it without it before having a degree. So I don't think it's something that you need, but my reasoning for going back is obviously my school's being paid for thanks to my dad being a vet. So I'm like, why not take advantage of the opportunity? Plus, it'll look good, you know, having a degree, a 4-year degree. But I don't know. I don't think it's very necessary, depending on what you want to do. Like, if you want to be a doctor, obviously you're gonna have to go to school. Yeah. But like doing like different stuff, like being a business owner or like marketing, you don't really need a degree to do that. Like, I've gained a whole bunch of marketing experience through myself. Yep. You know, and if I really wanted a marketing job that paid good, I'm pretty sure I could get it. Based off of what I've done for myself. So I don't really think it's needed, but, you know, and if you think about it, a lot of the people who are like millionaires and billionaires, they don't even have a degree.
Yeah, I mean,
the people who work for them are people like us with a degree, and they don't have a degree. So you can do anything you put your mind to.
I think it's interesting because the way life is set up, we've all been somewhat brainwashed. The way we've been I'm over here, and the way we've been brainwashed is everyone has been told and pretty much programmed to be like this. You have to do this in order to do this. And when you fall into that line of you have to do this in order to do this, you become a follower. And we have a society of followers that, you know, that invest thousands and thousands of dollars into college. And to your point, you know, you're going to school for free, which is great. So there's really no, you know, reason.
There's no reason for me to not take advantage of the opportunity. Yeah.
And plus the benefits you get while you're in school. So like all things, you know, remain equal. If you don't have that, you know, people, you know, I invest in the stock market. And I relate things to the stock market a lot. So when you invest in yourself as a person going to college, you expect a return. And most people, when they go to college, they don't know what kind of return they're going to get or if they're even going to get one. When I buy a stock, I have a vision of what I'm going to be getting at the end of, you know, let's say a year or two. I expect, hey, I should probably double my money. If I don't double it, then I'll probably at least make 50% on it. And when people go to college, they should have that same mentality. Like, hey, okay, I'm going to spend, you know, $200,000 on this degree, but in 5 years, I think that I'll be able to, you know, pretty much make all the money back from my initial investment, and I'll start to make money, you know, on the positive side.
That's the thing too. Like, you put so much money into school just to be in debt when you get done. Like, you always live your life in debt. It seems like the world is basically set up for you to fail.
That's set up for you to be stressed. Like, the thing is, like, you make a bad investment and, you know, it stresses you out. Like, nobody wants to be in a stock that's going up and down, up and down, up and down, crazy, you know, swings, especially if you have a lot of money invested in that stock, you know, because, you know, it's an emotional roller coaster. But it's the same thing with college. If you are investing in a degree that, you know is not going to make you any money, then, you're going to be stressed out when you graduate because now you're fighting this uphill battle trying to pay off student loans and you're not even paying it off because all you're paying is the interest.
Yep.
And you know how they get you with that. So my whole thing is this: if you have an idea of what you actually want to do once you graduate, and it makes sense that your investment will be paid off in a like reasonable amount of time, then great, go to college. But it's also one of those things where people who don't go to college tend to be the ones that do really, really creative, interesting things because they're not confined to that degree, and they tend to just go out and do things on their own without thinking, hey, I need to learn this from someone, from a professor, from a university.
That's like my number one thing. Once I blow up somewhere on YouTube, pay all my student debt.
Because financials, we in our relationship, I'm definitely the one that cares a lot about saving and stuff like that. But I feel that our balance is pretty good because
I think our balance is what makes everything good with us.
He's
like the saver and I'm the spender.
That doesn't sound that great when you put it like that. But the thing is, I spend when it really makes sense. Like when we moved into this new crib, like I wasn't cheap with buying stuff.
That's because we were going half.
But even still.
No, we were going half.
But even still, like I understand that there's a time and place for everything. And I don't buy cheap stuff. Like generally speaking, when I buy stuff, it's something of quality because I expect it to last. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to purchase it unless I know for sure that I'm ready to purchase it.
Look, you need to stop drinking it.
I know over. If you're watching the podcast on YouTube,
we know not to give him Canada Dry no more.
Hit that subscribe button because it's the best podcast ever. Episode 1, and we already have overtaken Joe Rogan. Shout out to whatever the name of this podcast is. Sound off. But yeah, what were we talking about?
You saving and me spending.
You got to talk into the mic, babe. They can't hear that.
You saving and me spending.
Oh, yeah. You got to stop spending money because
I be trying. It's hard. I be seeing stuff and I'm like, girl, you was not going to see that when you come in this store a month from now. So I be like, get it. Treat yourself. So, you know what I'm saying? And
I feel like in this day and age, man, nothing's guaranteed, especially Google AdSense because YouTube monetizing everything. I got my job and everything. But at the end of the day, you always want to have multiple sources of income just in case something happens. And you can just kind of, whoop-de-whoop, make stuff, flip and all that. But
he's passed out. Look at our little dog.
Little dog is passed out. Little dog. Hey, little dog. But yeah, I think we had a really good first episode. I've enjoyed our conversation. I feel like we have a good conversation anyway.
We always have good talks when we talk.
And once we get off of this, guess we can go get us something to eat. We got some Popeye's chicken over there. I love my Popeye's chicken. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the podcast, listening to the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, which you have to be because it's the first episode, definitely subscribe on YouTube, drop a comment, share the video because it really does help. And also, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, give it a 5-star rating. If you're listening to it on Spotify,
you putting this on Apple and Spotify.
Oh yeah, we
chatting there.
We in there. Like I didn't buy these mics $400 a piece for this not to be on Apple Podcasts. So
I guess I could put these mics to use now.
Yeah, we about to. So 5 stars. It ain't 5 stars, and don't rate it.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Don't you know how it is. But seriously, we appreciate you guys. The little doggy appreciates you guys. Say bark. Say bark.
He don't want to bark. He want to cry.
Yeah, he tripping right now. He usually
he's tired probably.
Yeah, he tired. He need to go sleep.
But yeah, We thank you guys for tuning in to our first podcast. We definitely are going to do a lot more because it's low-key kind of fun.
We gonna do them right here. Yeah, look at the camera. There you go. All right, that's episode 1. Thank you guys.
Peace.
Peace.